What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unsolicited with Sam and Jordyn. I am Sam. This is Jordyn. And what a week for Unsolicited it has been. Literally, hello to every new person in the world that showed up in the past week. We are officially at 400 subscribers on YouTube. We hit over 1,000 followers on TikTok, over 600 followers on Instagram. Thank you guys all so much. That's been incredible.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's been so surreal just watching everything kind of start moving at once. And we're both so grateful and we love it so much. And we're so excited to have you here. And we've been talking every time we hit a milestone, we do something special. So Sam, do you want to, do we preview anything?
I'd say longtime listeners know what comes when we have our hit our subscriber marker. Next week, it'll be a little bit more of an interactive show. We'll post some stuff on our social media, so make sure to follow us everywhere on our socials so you'll get to see what's coming up next week.
Woo!
And Jordyn, I just had to share something with you today because it kind of like hurt me in numerous different ways. So I was like scrolling on TikTok, as I do.
Yes.
And I get I've been getting a lot of One Direction videos recently. Like a lot. Different things with different audios, whatever. And there was a clip of like old One Direction stuff, And I opened the comments. And the top comment was from a person who I'm assuming is much younger than I am, saying, "Oh my God, Harry Styles was in a band?"
No.
Not even Harry Styles was in One Direction. Harry Styles was in a band? We've gotten to the point now, Jordyn, where people don't even know who One Direction is. And I feel like this is my turning point. It's time to have my midlife crisis now. Because I'm going to die soon.
No, that just made my chest physically ache.
Right? Like I literally, I read it and I was like, and all the comments underneath it were just like, oh no, like we've reached this part.
It's happening.
I was thinking about it, like, if you're like 10 years old, you never knew One Direction.
Now I know what my mom felt like when I was like, Justin Timberlake was in a band? Like
Yeah, that's exactly right. All of the people who were like Justin Timberlake didn't know he was in NSYNC. Like that is exactly the same thing. Which is crazy. It's like people didn't know that Harry Styles came from One Direction. And I just have to share that because it literally sent me into a spiral.
No, because that means we're old.
And the thing, we're not even that old. That's the thing.
I don't think we are. I think
we are either.
Young and lively.
I want to be young and lively. But when you put comments like that on the internet, I don't feel as young and lively.
No.
But I just had to share that because it was gut-wrenching, to be real.
I'm going to be honest, I could have gone my entire life without hearing that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you were the one that broke it to me, and I'm glad to know that this is where we are. Also, One Direction, if now was the time to get back together.
Now's the time.
Yeah, it's now. Except, did you hear that Zayn just announced his first solo tour?
I did.
Is that something that you're going to try and go to?
No.
Okay. You don't like Zayn?
Not that I don't like him. I just don't I just never listened to his music.
Me either.
Same with I have nothing against Louis. And Louis actually makes some pretty good music, but just not my vibe.
Yeah.
So,
that's fair.
It is what it is. But yeah, I'm sure people are freaking out though about Zayn. I don't think Zayn's ever gone on tour since leaving the band.
That's what I saw, because I saw it was like first solo tour, and it was like we've waited 9 years and 4 albums or something for this, and I was like, damn, because I don't think I ever put 2 and 2 together. But yeah, first solo tour for Zayn.
The crazy thing is to think back, and I was like, yeah, I was in college when Zayn left the band, and there are people that were just don't even know what it was like to know that Zayn left One Direction. That was a monumental day. It was where were you when Michael Jackson died? No, where were you when you found out Zayn left the band?
Where were you when Andrew Luck retired?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was in my backyard and, I was looking up at the stars. No.
You remember where I remember where I was.
Yeah, I was. I was outside in my backyard looking up at the stars.
I was in a brewery on Long Beach Island.
Nice.
And I said, Andrew Lecter's retired. And all the guys went, no. And I said, turn the fuck around. He just retired.
Look at the fucking screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and I went inside and I looked at my brother and I was like, Andrew Luck just retired? And he was just like, yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. It was a bananas time to be alive.
It was a crazy time to be alive.
We've lived through it. We've lived through it all at this point.
We really have.
Several once-in-a-lifetime stock market crashes. 9/11.
A pandemic.
A pandemic. The 90s. Well, for you, only 2 years in the 90s. But still, the early 2000s.
Yes, yes.
Boy band culture, Tumblr. People don't use Tumblr anymore. You know?
No, I fought tooth and nail to try and find my old Tumblr, and I can't remember for the life of me what I named it.
One of these days.
It was Over the Rainbow or something with sunshine. Somewhere over the rainbow, something like that.
Pretty on brand. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Pretty on brand. But yeah.
Yeah.
What a life we've lived so far. I feel like I've lived several lives.
There's been wait, it's so funny because this is something that we're actually going to be talking about when you and I are together this weekend. Guys, Sam and I get to hang out in person for an entire weekend.
Again, for the second time in 1 year.
1 year.
I think this is the most times I've seen you in 1 year since we've worked together.
100,000%, yes.
This is the fourth time this year that I'm seeing you. Because I saw you for the shower, I saw you for the bachelorette, I saw you for the wedding. Now I'm seeing you again.
Yes, no, and I love everything about it.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, Sam and I are going on a reading retreat this weekend, which we are very, very excited about. And one of the things that we're doing is having a PowerPoint night about
Fuck, I gotta make that. I completely forgot about that. This is my idea.
I know. And then you just said we've lived through so many eras. I thought you were queuing me up for a segue.
That was no, we're just like that, I just queue you up. I don't even know what I'm saying. I gotta open up Google Docs or whatever.
Google Slides.
Google Slides.
If it makes you feel better, I haven't started yet.
Okay, cool.
I just know it's something that I have to do.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
We're also leaving tomorrow at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, it's gonna be a journey.
It is. It definitely is. But we're so excited. You guys know how much Sam and I love our books, and we have a whole little book club going with a bunch of fantastic people, and it's going to be.
Wait, I just thought about it real quick.
What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're so fine.
We can have a book talk segment. We're reading the same book.
We can have a book talk segment.
Well, maybe not next week on the live show, but maybe the week after that we can do a book talk segment.
Yes.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry, I just had that thought.
No, I think I was done. I was just talking about our book retreat.
Well, I think that's a good segue then into our first topic.
You get me.
Here we go.
So Sam and I were discussing it earlier this week. The debate between Goodreads and Fable. I initially texted her. I didn't know that you abandoned Goodreads. So I texted Sam, I live, breathe, and die by Goodreads. If I read 20 pages, it will get marked. I love Goodreads. However, it's not a secret that the app itself sucks. It's so outdated. Just the software, the actual technology is straight up bad.
Yeah.
Prehistoric, if you will. And then Sam fills me in that she's like, oh, fuck that. I left Goodreads. I'm on Fable. So I need to know your thoughts on Fable, what Fable is. Because
yeah. Fable is
feeling
basically the same thing.
the exact same,
Not the exact same, but it's like the same concept.
but better technology.
I will say it's still not like the best app I've ever used, but I don't have any issues with it.
Why are they not investing more into the book apps?
I don't I don't know. Especially now I feel like more people are reading right now because of
Yes.
TikTok. It's like you see like I know that's why I picked up a book again. It's like people are reading these books and they're really good. I should be reading these books.
Yes.
So, I don't know, but I started with Goodreads last summer, or was it 2 summers ago? No, last summer. And every time like I would like go to update my pages or I'd press like I finished the book, it like I could never put it in the right folder. Like it would be like I completed it and it's like no, it's still in either your to be read or you're reading it currently. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna or if I put it in my to be read and then I started reading it, it wouldn't go into my like currently reading folder. And I'm like, what's the point of this? I could write this all down, you know? Like I was
Yeah.
like, this is so stupid. So I was expressing it to Kristen, who is one of our bookie, my cousin-in-law, our friend now. Um so I was talking to her and she goes, "Oh, have you ever heard of Fable?" And I said, "No." She goes, "Maybe you'll like it more." So I downloaded Fable and I've been using it ever since. It definitely the cat just knocked something over. It definitely has its same similar problems. Like I added a bunch of like books that I had read this year to the app and it didn't put it towards my annual goal. So it said
Oh,
that I've only read like 5 or 7 books this year when I have in fact read like 16 books this year, but it was
yeah.
because I just added them in but then when I started actually adding them from the app, like then it worked, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think that
No,
there's
that
just
makes sense.
but like it's definitely we definitely need to invest in the book apps, but I personally like Fable more and our my family book club uses Fable and you get put in like a book club like part of the app and then you can like go chapter by chapter and like add comments and like talk to each
What?
other. Yeah. So like when
What?
we were reading a book and like we would like be able to like put in comments like,
Why
"Oh, like
didn't we
chapter
do this
6."
with Quicksilver?
I don't know. I don't
We
know,
should
probably
have.
cuz not everyone uses Fable.
We
I
gotta
don't think
convince everyone.
I don't think Catherine uses Fable. Or maybe she
Does she
does.
use Goodreads? I think I have her on Goodreads.
She probably uses Goodreads. I don't know if she uses Fable. We're gonna probably have to have the same discussion this weekend.
No, we absolutely will.
But I am wholeheartedly. I deleted Goodreads like off of my phone. I don't even have the app. I just use Fable.
Literally, one of my friends today, I told her, I was like, does anyone use Fable? Sam, this really took me by surprise. I was like, I've never heard. Like, I was like, Sam doesn't use Goodreads anymore. Like, she's using something new. And I talked to my friend. My friend was like, Jordyn, you're the only one that uses Goodreads. Like, she was like, whenever I open my Goodreads, it's just you, like, talking to yourself. And I was
Yeah. Oh my
like,
god.
I'm distraught about this.
Wait, did you just learn about Fable?
So
Like,
I
or did you
honestly
know about it?
I knew of it as a book club app. Like I knew it was for book clubs, but I didn't know it had the same things as Goodreads where you could like keep up with all your books and add TBRs. I just thought it was like a community for book clubs.
I gotcha. Well, yeah, it is, but at the same time,
It's
you know,
also
yeah. But let me just show you. So like right now,
yeah, I'm
yeah, it
gonna
says
download it.
my 2024 reading goal. It says I read 6 books. I have not read 6 books. Like it's not. So,
Yeah.
but it also gives you reading statistics, so it shows like how much you've read per is it week or month? I don't know. But I'm really bad at updating. I'm like you update fast. I don't like I'm like, "Oh shit, I read 200 pages. I should probably put it in my Goodreads and or not my Goodreads, my Fable app." But yeah, it says I and like you have like a did not finish, you're finished, you're currently reading and you want to read. Um but like I have to like Quicksilver it says I'm 53% in and I'm much more.
Yeah.
The only thing is that you have to know like the number of pages in a book in order to get your percentage. So it gives you just like a slash and you put like
Got
I'm
it.
up to 300 out of what? Like the app doesn't know how many pages the book is.
Got it.
So that's kind of
Makes
annoying.
sense.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'm going to download it. You know me. I'll probably end up using Fable and Goodreads because I'll be like, certain people are on each. I need to know what everyone's up to.
Well, I
I'll
think
get
that's what a
FOMO.
lot of people do nowadays is
Oh,
they have
good.
both.
Okay. I'm downloading it right now.
I think Kristen has both. I just could not stand Goodreads. I literally was just like, this fucking I can't take it. I literally was like, it was like a rage quit. I was like,
It's so bad.
it's like horrible. It's like put more effort into your freaking book apps, please.
The worst thing, oh my God. I logged in on desktop to Goodreads for the first time since I was probably like 12. And I was like, this website looks the same as what?
Goodreads has been around for that long.
Yes, but I didn't utilize it. I don't know if it's been around in the way that we use it for forever, but I remember as a child, like having a Goodreads account, logging on to Goodreads and like looking for books.
Interesting.
Let me see. When did Goodreads?
I didn't know about, and I didn't even know these apps existed until like last year. Like I was just not
Goodreads came out in January of 2007.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it hasn't been updated since.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, that'll do it.
Yep.
That'll do it. Well,
But yeah, so me and Sam will keep you updated next week on how our reading retreat went.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How often did you like go to the public library when you were younger?
Not that often.
Was it like, is that like a thing in Jersey?
It is like my grandma definitely took me. Our library always did like events and stuff too.
Mhm.
So like when I was a kid, she would take me if they were like reading a certain book or like having like, I don't know, like a dance party for kids or like a movie night. Like I remember going to the library like for events, but no, I was a snob. Like my mom just always took me to Barnes and Noble. Like I grew up in Barnes and Noble.
Wow. See, I was always at the library.
I
And, like,
lived
yeah.
in my school library. I was there all the time, but not as much the public library.
Yeah, I think that, the New York City Public Library is also just like, there's so many of them and it's so easy to go to and they're very kid friendly. So whenever my mom's like, I don't know what to do with you, let's go to the library. And we would just go to the library. And I like would hyper fixate on books, like certain books. So I would put them in certain places so I would remember where they were. And then I'd like go back to library and find them and pull them out again and read them. Like I was like crazy. Like I would reread the same books over and over again. I was obsessed with this illustrated children's version sort of Rapunzel, which kind of checks out because I just love Disney princesses. But beside the fact, it was so interesting to me and it was like almost like Renaissance-y painted. Like it was like not like a kid's book illustration, like it was like gorgeously painted.
Oh.
Photos of Rapunzel, and I would be like, we'd bring it back, and I'd be like, tell me when I can take this out again, and I'm gonna come back and get it. Like I'd literally bring it back, and I'm like, can I get put on the wait list for that? And they're like, you just returned it to us, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to get put on the wait list for that. Please call my mother when that book's available. Thank you so much.
That's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, that was. I don't think I only owned the books that I had to read for school. Like somebody. But anyway,
snobby. I still am. I'm very snobby with my books. I need the physical versions. I need to keep them. I'm very stingy about loaning them out. One of my best friends, Abby, for Christmas actually got me one of those like stampers that says Jordyn Courtney's library or from Jordyn Courtney's library or something.
Oh,
so
like
all
in
my
a
books are
boxer?
stamped. Yes.
Wait, it's like when it like crunches the paper.
Yes, and then the image on it is a book with flowers coming out of it.
That's so cute. I love that.
And it says from Jordyn Courtney's library.
Adorable. So no one can ever steal your book.
No, even though they still do.
You stamp all your books, like for real?
When I finish them.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's like a little.
It's like a little
fun
like,
thing.
That is so cute.
I have my routine. When I finish a book, immediately Goodreads. I close it. My phone is in my hand in the same second. I write my review. I give my rating. Then I go to my notes app and I update my reading list that I have in my notes app.
You've sent me that.
Yes. And then I go to my bookshelf and I stamp it and I put it in its designated spot. Brian knows immediately when the book is done because Goodreads, and I'm like, hold on, I need to get my review out.
I only have written like 2 or 3 reviews in my life for books, and it's only when I feel very, very passionate about. I wish I could like sit down and like start reading, and I'm like, I can't do this.
No, and the reviews that like sometimes they'll be really in depth, but sometimes I'm just like, this is the best fucking book I've ever read,
Yeah,
and like that's the review.
which is like most books.
Yes, every
Like
book
you
I read,
literally
I'm like,
tell me that all the time.
yes, yeah. I'm like, Sam, this is actually gonna crush your being, but you would love it. Like,
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that. I love that so much. I love
perfect.
being a woman.
Girlhood is so fun.
Don't you just
Sam,
like love like things?
I'm eating cheese while podcasting, talking about books.
Like
Like,
the life.
what?
The life. Well, we talked about books for the last 20 minutes. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's time to transition into our football talk, which many people like when we do. So
Mm-hmm.
NFL Week 2 is in the books. It is ready to go. We're ready to go into Week 3. How are you feeling after NFL Week 2? Because I am even more confused than I was after NFL Week 1.
Yeah, NFL week 2 was a shit show in
Yeah,
every way, shape, or form. Like
that's an excellent way of saying it.
it really like I'm glad I didn't bet as much in week 2 as I did in week 1 because I lost like every team that I thought would win. The one thing that was funny, I threw a random sneaky bet on the Vikings that hit just because I was like, what if they actually beat the 49ers? Like,
I love
um,
that.
that was fun. But yeah, no, overall, I feel like you said it best. Very confused. Like, I have no idea what to expect for week 3. And also, like, I don't know if you saw, you know how the NFL does like the power ranking reel?
Yeah.
I saw it today. And even that, I'm like, are we watching the same game? Like,
Yeah.
the Steelers are ranked like 12th. Like, they're ahead of the Vikings. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
No, like literally. Actually, so obviously you know this. Some people know that I work for USA Today, and every day, every Monday or Tuesday, I check the USA Today power rankings, and they have been putting the Giants at number 32 for the past 2 weeks, and I checked. And I checked this week, and they were at 31, and I was so excited. I was like, ha, beat that, Carolina. I was so excited. I was like, you guys did such a good job. I know you lost, but I was so proud of you.
they're inching up there, you know? They're moving in the right direction.
Daniel Jones shaved.
He did.
He did. He
Did.
shaved his beard. He's shaving away the losses. But also, at this point, do we just tank? It's kind of, I don't know where I'm at.
I know.
I feel so confused about my own team. I feel so confused about the league. Like some teams are like really good, but I wasn't expecting them to be really good, and some of these teams are really bad. I was expecting them to be really bad. What is happening? The Ravens? Who are they?
I'm saving that for one of our segments.
Okay, fair enough. Fair. Oh yeah,
That's
we're doing segments, guys.
yeah.
We're doing NFL segments.
Yeah, we are coming up soon. But before
Producer
we get
brains
into
work.
one of those, I I think we have to have a conversation about the Saints. Um, I
Let's have a
know it's only
conversation about
week
the Saints.
I know it's only week 2. I fear they're real.
I agree. I literally watching the Saints and watching Derek Carr, and where did Alvin Kamara come from? Like all of a sudden he was just like, guess what? I'm risen. And we're like, cool, 4 tutties on the day. I'm like, bruh, I thought you were like in prison or something. I'm like, I don't know where you were, but you're here now. And Derek Carr's just like, I'm the new Matt Stafford. I'm going to the Super Bowl this year and I'm getting the ring that I deserve. And I'm like, I respect you so much. It's like unreal how much I respect him right now.
Fucking Sid from Toy Story just out here fucking everyone's shit up. Like, it's
Literally.
completely taken me by surprise. I knew the Saints would be like decent.
Sure.
Like,
Like for
I
their
thought
division.
Yes, I thought they would have like 7-8 wins, be in that like wild card playoff conversation for a little bit, maybe sneak their way in, maybe just miss. Like that was my expectation of the Saints this year. No, I was so wrong. And guess what? I play them this week.
You physically, just Jordyn, is going to be on the field going up against the Saints.
Me versus Derek Carr,
Yeah,
one-on-one.
one-on-one. All of a sudden, the hexagon comes out. They're like, "Let's get ready to rumble," and everybody's like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
I'm like, if you want to get to the Eagles, you have to get through me
You have to go
first.
through me first. You don't touch Jalen Hurts.
No.
We'll get to that. Yeah, I know, but we have to discuss it. We have
This is
to.
why we wore black for the
This-
Eagles funeral.
I didn't.
Oh.
I would be wearing a rainbow of colors to the Eagles funeral.
Sam said, fuck that. Do not put me in that category.
Nuh-uh. I know they're hidden, but they're still here. They're still here.
Yeah.
It's my
Um,
fandom.
Yeah. Do we want to get in? I think it's time for the roast.
All right, guys. We are going to light the torch and start the roast. It is time to get into the worst possible things that we saw from NFL Week 2. Jordyn, hit me. Who are you roasting this week?
I have two teams
Okay.
that deserve the roast. And it's two of my favorite teams in the
Okay.
entire league, the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles.
All
Did you
right.
guys? I swear they got together and said, hey, you know that girl Jordyn? We're just gonna fuck her shit up. Like we're just gonna totally
Look it
derail.
up.
Yeah, we're just gonna derail her mental being. Because what am I seeing? Why the hell are the Ravens 0-2? And the only two teams they played are the Chiefs and the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Ravens, and I had to watch it with my own eyes in a fucking Deca-Box. I wanted to kill myself.
Not the Deca-Box. Don't bring the Deca-Box into this. She's our treasure.
No, I actually really did love the Deca-Box. I was like, I wish we
Deca-Box.
could have this every week.
I saw a tweet and I reposted it, and it basically was just like the Deca-Box would put the European mind into pudding. Like
100%.
European minds don't understand the Deca-Box.
No. They could barely wrap their head around the Octobox. Then we throw them into the Deca-Box. They have no
Forget
idea where they
about it.
are.
Oh, Scott Hansen was working overtime this past Sunday. He was like 10 1 o'clock games. No problem. I got this. But continue your roast.
But yeah, there is in no world where the 2024 Ravens should be losing to the 2024 Raiders led by Gardner Minshew. Like, what? It was really, really, really sad to see. I hated absolutely every second of it. And then, obviously, the entire nation got to witness what happened to the Eagles in primetime football. And that was just such a winnable game. It tore me apart inside. And what's so frustrating to me, you can blame Jalen Hurts all you want. And if you're one of the people that is blaming Jalen Hurts for the Eagles' loss, all power to you. I am not. I will not. Jalen Hurts played his heart out that game, and he had like the grit and the fire. I was like, this is 2022 Jalen Hurts. Like, he's back. He's pumped. Like, I saw that dog in him again in the home opener, which we haven't really seen in a while. So to get that kind of energy back from him, I was like, yes, let's go. He was running for his life. He was all pumped up. It was literally our fucking defense and our fucking coaching. I don't know where they were or what they were on, but they were not watching the same game we were. So many dumb mistakes. And it just, I'm getting a little nervous about our coaching, and we have so much talent, and I don't really know what to feel. And then, like I said earlier, now we have to walk in and play the Saints, who have put 40 plus points up in both of their games this season. So when our linebackers can't get a single tackle in a game, I'm a little nervous.
something that I texted Jordyn on Tuesday, I think it was. Yeah, because it was Monday Night Football. I said, "Welcome to the exclusive club that is the love-hate relationship of Saquon Barkley. He will put up 3 touchdowns the week before and then absolutely demolish you the following week by dropping passes or not doing a single thing." So I'm glad that somebody else is experiencing that now. I love the guy. I'll always love him. But, you know, welcome.
Yeah, that was another thing everyone's freaking out about, the Saquon drop, which like I get, because yes, if he catches that ball, we win the game. But where my frustration was, it's like, yes, in every NFL game, you can look backwards and be like, oh, we should have done this. We should have done that. We fucked up here. But what killed me so much about that game is we were in such an easy position. Not easy, but like we were in a position to win that. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
like we have one of the strongest kickers in the league, like consistent as all hell. I would trust Jake Elliott with my life. He could hit me with a car. I'd thank him. We needed to get him 10 to 15 more yards to kick a game-winning field goal at home, and we throw it. Like,
The
we had a
cinematicness
timeout.
of that was and the experience. So, Jordyn, you were at the game. You were experiencing that. I was sitting at home. Jordyn texted me, "I'm gonna throw up," and I said, "No." I was like watching this game, and I was like about to turn it off because I was like, the Eagles got it. Like I was thinking that it was a shoo-in for them at that point. And I literally just I was like typing out this text, and I was like, "No, as long as, your quarterback gets down the field and does what he needs to do, you got this in the bag. Unless the Eagles fuck it up. Press send. Look up, interception." And I went, "Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry."
Immediate.
It was I literally said I pressed send. 5 seconds later, Jalen Hurts got interception.
Yep.
So,
And that's what pissed me off so much too, because like Jalen Hurts, he got hit on the throw. Like it wasn't. I'm not blaming Jalen. I refuse to blame Jalen for that loss. That
fair
was
enough.
entirely coaching, a bad call, and then dumb mistakes throughout the entire game,
Fair enough.
and no defense. I'm gonna
Fair,
actually.
fair enough. Fair enough.
It hurts. It hurts, and now we
But
have to fight Sid from Toy Story.
it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a very telling week for both teams.
It definitely will be. And like, this is what's so frustrating. I was talking about this today at work. The Eagles are a team where it's like, we'll lose a game like that and then somehow find a way to beat the Saints. And it's like, how? How? And I'm honestly trying not to get my hopes up, because normally I just go in with blind optimism and I'm like, of course we're going to win. Like, of course. This time I'm hurt. I'm a little defeated, and I need to see a really, really good performance from them this weekend.
I wonder what that's like to go in blatantly optimistic about your team. Because on my side of the roast, I actually also I have like my main win, and I do have like an honorable mention, which I kind of want to have a conversation with you about because I'm
Okay.
interested to hear your thoughts. I will be roasting my team this week, the New York Giants, because while I was stoked to see points on the board and like touchdowns, not one, not two, 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting for us. That's a big deal for us. And yet the defense was able to stop and not let the Commanders score a single touchdown, and we still lost. Why? Because they kicked 7 field goals. 7. I don't know who had Siebert on their fantasy team. Shout out to freaking whatever his first name is. Commander. Unreal. 7 field goals, and you still lost. I will say their performance was much better than
It
mine.
was.
I actually was able to like physically sit down and like look at them for more than
Mhm.
10 minutes. Like that's for me is a win. But the roast is that you guys are still that bad that you're able to score 3 touchdowns, hold the other team from even scoring a touchdown, and you still lose the game. It's honestly at this point it's pretty impressive. Because it's the first time in NFL history that's ever happened. First time in NFL history. This league's been around for what, 105 years? Unreal. Unreal.
Yeah, no, that was really something.
It always is. It always is. And one day I'll be able to walk into a week and go, we got this one in the bag. I'm not worried about it. But right now, 'tis not the case.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Brian. We were sitting on the couch placing our bets for the day, and I said, "What's your big one? Like, what's your pick?" And he said, "Giants +1." And I said, "He said what? You like the Commanders?" And I said, "I'm just not touching that game." I was like, "I like the Commanders more than the Giants." I was like, "But it's divisional." I was like, "So you're right. Anything could happen." But I was like, "I just think that's going to be an ugly game." And we were watching it, and he was like, "There's so many field goals."
You're not wrong, Brian. You are not wrong. There were so many field goals in that game. And
So many.
the fact that our kicker got hurt and they decided not to bring up a kicker from the practice squad. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. I don't know whose decision that was. Obviously,
That was the other thing, because
cocaine.
if you guys had your kicker, you win that game.
Freaking, I don't even know what his name is, but he was on the practice squad. We have like, it's not like we don't have one, but we just signed a new kicker from like, I don't even know where he's from. The Lions, I think. It's like a backup.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It's like you have one sitting. That's what the practice squad is for. Do you not know how this works? Do you not understand the
point? Time here.
Do you need a refresher on how 53-man rosters and practice squads work? Because listen, I've never been a part of it, but I can help you out here. I understand the basics of that.
Sam, I think we just figured out the Giants' problem. They don't know anything about football.
You don't know anything.
That's why we're here.
Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Yes.
Put me in a jersey. I'm ready to start running through 6'6" guys' legs. Like,
also, wait. Speaking of the Giants, I was shocked. I didn't realize that Devin Singletary was also number 26. That was drawing for me for a second.
How fucking dramatic is that?
I was like, I was like, he's mine. Like,
no, when that happened, I was like, huh? Like when he announced that he was doing it, I was like, that seems illegal. I don't know why, but it feels like you should be in jail for that.
Before?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
Which is so it makes sense. Like, 26 is available. He's gonna take his number. But it's just so funny because like you see a 26 in a Giants jersey running down the field as a running back, you're gonna think it's Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
I don't know. I kind of respect him for it though.
Like, this is my house now.
Yeah, he's just like, what's up? I'm here. I scored a touchdown too. I can do that too.
Or maybe the Giants were like, just keep your number. Maybe no one will notice.
No, there's 100% someone in the world who like doesn't really follow football that closely, still thinks Devin Singletary is Saquon Barkley. 100%.
It's like when you're a kid and your guinea pig dies and your parents are like, I'm just going to swap it out. That's literally Devin Singletary on the Giants.
Literally, when I really started getting into football, like I was like sixth, 7th grade, and like then I really started paying attention in high school. I thought Jeremy Shockey was on the Giants for like 17 years. Literally, I was just like, yeah, and Jeremy Shockey, and everyone's like, he don't play no more, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I was so convinced that Jeremy Shockey continued to be on the Giants for like eternity.
That's hysterical.
But I do want to say what my honorable mention is for the roast. Actually, it kind of ties into our next segment as well, but I'll say it here. Did you see the video of Caleb Williams and CJ Stroud postgame?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? Because there's like half of the people that are like, there's nothing wrong with this. The other half of the people are like, Caleb Williams is a piece of shit for not treating CJ Stroud with respect.
Oh my God. Wait, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, so I saw it and like just off the top of my head, I was just like, oh, it seems like Caleb Williams is like not down to talk. Like he like wanted to just like dap him up, say thank you, and then CJ Stroud kind of like leans in and like Caleb Williams starts to kind of walk away, and then CJ Stroud's like, hey, and he like brings him back, and he's just like, you're gonna be a great player in the league, blah blah blah, whatever. And Caleb Williams is just kind of like nodding his head, and then he's like, thanks, bro, and like walks away. And like I saw a lot of people on Twitter going, oh my God, like he's the worst person available or worst person ever. All he does is think about himself, blah, 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 blah. And then the other half of the people were just like, who are feeling the same way, but they're like, what is CJ Stroud giving him advice for? He's been in the league for 1 year. He's not a veteran, blah, blah, blah. And like, people are having so much arguments about this. So I'm interested in this, but I wanted to roast Caleb Williams for the way that he just fucked everybody up this week. That's what I want to roast him about.
That's hysterical. No, I'm gonna go back and rewatch that because I think I may have watched it on mute, and then I saw the quote, and I was like, oh, like that's so cute, and I put the quote on my story because I love them both, but I don't think I like really took in the video, and I definitely didn't get that vibe.
I think. Oh, here I'm sending you the tweet right now.
Please, yes, because I'm looking and I'm struggling.
This is the one that I saw like right off the bat. Also, quick shout out to Adrian Wojnarowski, who's retiring from ESPN.
Yes.
We'll never get another Woj bomb again. She's watching the video. Do you see like Caleb pulling away? Like, do you see what other people are seeing?
Like, I see it here, but then it also
like, I don't know. I think people might be reading into a little bit, but at the same time, I was like,
reading into it because I see after games a lot of time they'll like say something quick to each other and then leave. Like it's not like they have a conversation. And it's like CJ said one thing to him and then looks at him and he's like, yes. And then he walks away. Like it looks like he thought it was done. But then he comes back and talks to him and then they shake hands.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is just.
But also I love them both. So I'm like, be friends.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, but like, people are really anti Caleb Williams because of the fact that there's polish on his fingernails. Like people like freak the fuck out. So it's like,
get over it.
I just wanted to hear. I just wanted to hear what your thoughts were on that. But I guess that kind of leads us into our second NFL segment that we got going on here, which is our Gridiron Gossip, because we love a good tea. And anyone who's like OG Girl Who Talks Sports fans, it's like going to be very similar to tea time. I still have my mug. It says it's motherfucking tea time up here. So we're getting into it.
It's tea time.
It's tea time, but it's Gridiron Gossip time. So I know that we talked about one thing. I have another thing as well, gossip-wise. But as of this week, the Carolina Panthers have benched Bryce Young, and Andy Dalton will be coming in and taking over. And yeah, they did the whole presser. The coach was basically like, this is for the benefit of our team, and this is what we're going with, and it is what it is. And Bryce Young is pissed. Did you see that?
Yes.
He's pissed off.
He's pissed off. However, I don't really know what he expected. Like,
does not look good.
I don't know how to say this I don't mean it as bad as it's going to sound, but like, it hasn't pained me that much to watch a quarterback in a very, very long time. Like it's every time I look at him, I texted you after his first two drives, even though I think they were both interceptions or turnovers week one. And I just said, Bryce Young should retire. Like this just is not for him.
I know. And it's so unfortunate because he's just with such a crappy organization.
Yes.
Like it's half of it might be his fault. The other half is 100% not his fault. Because we are now seeing Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold doing well in the league, and they are just finding their niche. And it's just not. The Carolina Panthers should just just be crane game removed from. Like, do you remember the Nickelodeon thing where they picked up Baker Mayfield and we put that on TikTok for work, and we were like, and then he was gone. It was so funny. Anyway, that's what I was just thinking of, but we should do that with the whole Carolina Panthers.
I completely forgot about that.
Literally, it was like back here. And it just like made its way forward like the more I spoke.
I'm screaming. But no, I agree that they should be grained out. It's ridiculous. And I understand that yes, it is not 100% his fault. They traded away all of their young talent for what? And there's really no team around him. The GM clearly doesn't care. There's no fans left in the stands. Like, it's sad. It's really, really sad. But yeah, no, I also like, I'm sorry, I just don't think he's good, at least not good enough to like build the team around him. Like, maybe if he was put into a system where like there was already some structure, some talent, and he was like learning and he had other pieces to rely on, you never know. I say it all the time. I'm a big fan of benching quarterbacks. Let's talk about it. Malik Willis looked fantastic.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so maybe this is the best thing for him, and I wish he would look at it that way instead of getting pissy. Like, what have you done? Like, literally, what have you shown that says you deserve the starting job? Nothing. I understand they gave up a ton to get you. I understand you were the first round pick, but if you don't have the talent to do anything with this team, like they can't just sit around and let it happen, and you clearly have work to do. So is Andy Dalton the guy that can teach him that? I don't know. But I like the move. I do think Andy Dalton gives them the best chance at something if it's winning one game this season.
I don't know how other people feel about Andy Dalton. I really like Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I think that he's been phenomenal since his days with Cincinnati. Yes, I know he never won a playoff game, but he got there. He got there. And I you know, it's hard enough as it is. But Andy Dalton maybe isn't a Super Bowl contending quarterback, but he's not a bad quarterback.
No.
And I think odds have gone up in Carolina's favor with Dalton coming in. And yeah, maybe he's not the best quarterback, but he is a vet and he's been around for a while and he's been on a lot of different teams and a lot of different organizations, and he can teach Bryce Young a lot. Exactly. I'm sure he has. I'm sure there has been some things here and there, but with that the power change of like, okay, now you're QB2, I'm QB1, I'm running the show. This is what I'm going to do. And this is, what you can learn from it kind of deal.
You tell him, Andy, except he's going to totally mess up. Andy Dalton is single-handedly destroying my survivor pool strategy. So I was just going to pick everyone playing against Carolina. Now I don't know if I can keep doing that.
Very fair. Very fair. He's 36.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little nervous about. Like, I just don't know if he's still, I don't know what he has left in the tank. I'm hoping for the best for him. For poor Carolina fans.
Yeah, for real. Well, if there are even any fans left. But
I saw, Sam, you know how bad I am at Twitter?
You're so bad at Twitter.
I'm so bad at Twitter, and I did it again today.
Oh, no, what did they tell you?
That Cam Newton worked out for the Panthers this morning.
No, there was a real report about Cam Newton being around the Miami Dolphins facility.
Okay. I took it as fact. It was Adam Scheffler instead of Schefter tweeted that Cam Newton was working out for the Panthers after their 0-2 start. They want to bring him back. He had a great workout. And I literally, to my work, I was like, guys, Cam Newton's working out for the Panthers. Yeah. And everyone in my office was like, what? And then I looked closer and I went, oh no, I have to take this back somehow.
No, but there was an actual rumor of Cam Newton being at Miami's facility, but they don't know if it was a tryout or if he was just there to like say hi or meet up with people or what have you. Maybe he was inquiring for himself about the current open position, which we'll talk about Tua in just a second. But my second part of my Gridiron Gossip for today is the fact that our king, Mike Tomlin, said, you know what? Justin Fields is my guy. QB1, baby. Russ is still hurt. But he straight up said, if Russ comes back, Justin Fields is still QB1. And I was like, Brother, I respect you so hard for that.
This is why I love Mike Tomlin, because he's a reasonable, smart man that just wants to win football games. Like, that's all he wants.
And he does.
And he does. He's never had a losing record.
So true. But
I was ecstatic when I heard that. You know how much that means to me. Your brother is a big Steelers fan. What's he think about it? Does he like it?
I haven't heard from him in like the last 2 days.
Okay.
Hopefully my brother is still alive and living.
Okay.
No, he is. My mom just told me that she was with him. My brother's okay. Don't worry. Nobody worry. My brother's still alive. But I do have to ask him about that. I saw that and I didn't have a chance to speak with him about it, but I'm sure he like takes Mike Tomlin's word as like, like he's like, that's true. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like he's like, if Mike Tomlin thinks that Justin Fields should start, then Justin Fields should start. And they haven't even seen Russell Wilson play on this team yet. So it's like, how can you say no, we want Russ? It's like you're paying Russell Wilson $500,000 a year.
Yep.
Fucking bench him. Who cares? Yeah. Who cares?
Actually, though, and like, I'm sorry, given what we've seen with Russ, it's not worth the experiment when Justin Fields could be a longer term solution. Like,
he's younger.
They could build around him. If Mike Tomlin can bring out the best of Justin Fields, the Steelers could be in phenomenal hands.
I mean, and you think about it, think of what Mike Tomlin has been has been given as his quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger and Kenny Pickett. Two guys who are not more, they're more in the pocket passers, as opposed to mobile quarterbacks plus in the pocket. Maybe Mike Tomlin just needed a mobile quarterback.
Yep.
Change his whole offensive scheme up.
And now he has hella hard eyes. He's like, Justin Fields, you're the one.
Hella hard eyes.
Hella hard eyes.
I love it. But yeah, that's our Gridiron Gossip for the week. And you know what? The NFL really gives us gossip every week. So we will be returning to that segment.
Yes, absolutely.
But
there is one unfortunate NFL topic that we have to talk about. Unfortunately, this is the perfect headline.
I was literally like, oh, I'll write out Tua Tagovailoa, and I went, nope.
No.
Just right into Tua. Sorry, buddy. I don't know how to spell your last name quickly. Yeah. So Thursday night against the Bills, Tua has yet another visibly bad concussion, because you know that these guys are getting concussed a lot more often, but it's not as scary because you're not seeing the physical effects of it right away. But Tua has been placed on IR, so he's going to be out till at least week 8 with a concussion. He's speaking with specialists, talking about retirement. You are someone who really, really loves Tua, and talk to me about how you're feeling as like a real Tua fan.
I am so sad, and obviously this isn't the first time that we've been in this situation. And by the situation, I mean him getting concussed so bad that it's like, hey, is this the best option for me, or the best choice for me, the best path, whatever.
Sure.
So yeah, now we're circled back here. Not last season, the season before, when he had some really big scares, and we had to have the conversation like, oh my God, are we ever going to see Tua play again? And at that point, I was really, really selfish about it. And I was like, I'll be so sad if he never plays again. Like, I hope he comes back. I want to watch him play. Like, I just want him to get his flowers, and I want good for the Dolphins. I want a Dolphins-Eagles Super Bowl more than anything. However, this time it's getting to the point, like, he has a wife, he has 2 kids, he has family, like, he's so young, and it's just like, he may feel fine right now, but given the extent of his concussions, the future for him is definitely a little uncertain. And I want him to live a long and happy life with his family. And unfortunately, I don't think playing more football is going to get him that after everything that he's already been through. So it's a really unfortunate situation. The reports are that he has no plans of retiring. So as of right now, It seems like he may come back, but also like, does the NFL step in if he comes back?
Sure.
I think they should at least like, I don't even know if I want to jump ahead to this yet, but like say to us, like, I refuse to retire and the NFL doesn't force him to, and he comes back to play. I think he should at least be wearing one of the concussion caps, like mandatory.
100%.
And if he doesn't, then I'm like, what the hell?
Because, like, I mean, obviously the NFL has put in so many different precautions now for concussions. And, like, they're trying to move forward from it, especially after the concussion movie came out and more people learned about CTE and, like, it became, like, more of a well-known thing. We're seeing players, unfortunately, like Antonio Brown, publicly being a bit mentally ill, and it's very obvious that that's what they're dealing with. And, like, to see it in real time occur is going to be even more of, like, I don't want to say a threat to the NFL because the NFL is such a big entity that it's like nothing will ever threaten the NFL, but, like, it's going to be a big hit on them if you watch Tua get concussed several times in a way that is visually you could see it happening, and then seeing the things go on because of it, and if he continues to play, like, the NFL is gonna get so fucked. Like, people are gonna be really upset about it. In my opinion, that's what I think is gonna happen.
No, I can see it because we're getting to the point because, like, if we think about it, like, back in the day when our moms and dads were watching football, this was happening, but social media wasn't around. Like, players were players. You know what I mean? Like, they obviously had TV appearances and interviews, but it's not like it is today. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
it's just not. So, like you were saying, like, we get to see it in real time happening, which is scary. And I think it is going to add a lot more light to the situation. And yeah, it's just going to be really interesting. But overall, it's just a sad situation. Like, there's nothing else. I hate it. I want better for him.
Yeah. And also, like, think about it, like, imagine you working your job and something happens to you and they tell you, hey, if you continue to do your job that you love, you're not going to have a very good life. Like, how do you, it's like asking a 17-year-old to make the decision on what you want to be when you grow up before you go to college. Like, you're like, oh my God, how am I supposed to make that decision right now? It's like kind of the same thing. It's like, how do you tell Tua at 26 years old that he should not play football anymore when he's worked his whole life to be there? Like, that's really sad. And that's a huge decision to make. For us, it's like Tua should retire, like, on the outside. But, like, if you really think about it and you put yourself in your shoes and you know, he's got a family, obviously, but, like, he's also making a living for that family. And, like, this is the best way for him to make money. It's like, it gets so deep and so complicated because, like, we don't even know. We don't even know what that's like as people who have not participated in the NFL before. You know what I mean?
And literally every single person is different because, like, ironically, earlier in the show, we were talking about Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, I know the decision was hard for him, but it was also pretty easy. Like, he was like, I am physically in pain. I don't feel good anymore. I can't do this. Done.
I mean, yeah. Same with Luke Kuechly.
Yes.
Remember when Luke Kuechly? My dad was just reminding me of this after, like, Friday morning. My dad called me and was just like, "We need to talk about Tua." And I was like, "Yeah, we do." And he was like, "Remember Luke Kuechly, prime Panthers? Like, he was in the prime of his life, that guy." And he had to call it quits because if he got concussed again, they were like, "You will be a vegetable on the field." Like, it is non-negotiable. And Luke Kuechly made that decision. He was like, "Okay, no more football for me." So it is. And, like, a lot of these guys, they're not just getting concussed in the NFL. They're getting concussed in college. They're getting concussed in high school. They're getting concussed in Pee Wee League. Like, this is lifelong. It's not just Tua came into the league, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? It's like, it's not the time frame. We're looking at this.
And that's a quarterback. Like, imagine the linebackers, the D linemen. Like, that's like a car crash every time they hit each other.
It's pretty unreal.
It really is.
We had that was a very educating and very, like, mature conversation we just had on this. Like, we don't have many of those. So
No,
I'm
no.
glad that we
But
got that like recorded.
yes, we can be real when we have to be.
We sure can. But we hit it all, baby. We did it
We-
all. And we did it in an hour.
We did it all. Again, we are so, so grateful for all the new people and faces and ears that are watching and listening to us. We could not be more grateful. If you're really, really new here, this is a podcast we literally started after being laid off. And now we're both in our new jobs and happy and thriving. And what is this, episode 57? 57
Episode
episodes
57.
in.
Unreal.
But again, we're just happy and grateful for all of you. If you're also even more new here, make sure to follow us on social media. I forgot that's always my line before
Yeah, it
before I
is.
promo us. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at the Unsolicited_podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. We are also available on audio wherever you get your podcasting platforms. And again, keep subscribing because every milestone we will do something special.
All right, we're leaving. Goodbye.
Bye.